This is Vote for the Music, the Eurovision podcast.
So, hello, welcome back to Vote for the Music, the Eurovision podcast, Quickfire Reviews. I'm Benjamin Windybank.
I'm Tadeusz. And today we're taking a look at a Spanish entry for Junior Eurovision 2023 in Nice, Loviu, performed by Sandra Valero.
This is to music first, always.
We are unstoppable.
Open the frontiers to make people meet people.
Music is not fireworks. Music is feeling.
You're good to go.
Thank you, vote for the music!
This is Vote for the Music, the Eurovision podcast.
Let's have a listen. Out of all the Spanish entries we've got to see in recent years, Loviu sounds probably the least distinctively Spanish. Instead of well-recognizable Latino genres, we get to hear something that can only be described as a very sweet and upbeat composition. This is a genre that can surprisingly work and prove that many times. However, I can't say I'm sold on this song, and in fact, after a lot of thinking, I came to the conclusion that 1. I gave it far too much thought and it just sucks. 2. Many mistakes were made while composing it. Particularly, the song is just too fast and that prevents me from catching with its rhythm and vibe. Also, I think the production was misplaced. It is hard to say how exactly. However, instead of supporting the rhythm that the song has, it creates the second rhythm that competes with the one in composition, making the whole song generally chaotic.
I think we have some major disagreement. This is probably one of those strongest entries Spain has come out with. I think it's very well done. The production is very high. It's irresistibly catchy.
There's not much to be said about the lyrics. We hear a lot of versions of I Love You in various languages, which is an interesting touch that we have seen in Eurovision events in the past, which makes it nothing novel but still cute. Overall, the lyrics are silly and not particularly deep, which obviously isn't much of a trouble for or a cheat song.
This is definitely aimed at kids. It's for kids, but Spain, they always do a very tight show. Their stage show last year for Señorita was incredibly professional, incredibly slick, incredibly smooth.
When it comes to the staging, I expect something candy and happy, but also with the Spanish touch that the composition lacks. We're definitely going to see a lot of dancers. The song was presented to us in a studio version, so it's hard to say whether Sandra Valero will be able to replicate those vocals live. Probably yes, since she comes from the voice kits. However, we saw many Spanish representatives for Junior Eurovision struggling with vocals in previous years, and I'm afraid Sandra may be another of them. If not for the lack of skill, then because Spain is likely going to give her a very intense dance routine to perform, and that obviously makes singing and singing well much harder. After liking Loviu on the first listen, then forgetting all about it, then being very skeptical about it, and then finding some more appreciation towards it over time, I still at the end of the day consider this entry a failure. This is not the song that can win the contest. This is not the song that can perform well at the contest. This is the song that will be lucky to not come bottom 3. There is nothing particularly distinct about it. You can't recognize it as a Spanish entry. You can't recognize it as an outstanding entry. Despite the capabilities of the genre, it comes as incredibly boring and generic and very easy to forget. My score for the song is 5.5 out of 10, and I currently place it as the second weakest entry in the bunch.
And I think this is a real front runner to be taking the trophy.
With that said, thank you for listening to our Quickfire review. Please remember to follow us on Apple Music and Spotify, as well as subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And until next time, keep voting for the music.
This is Vote for the Music, the Eurovision podcast.